At the Administration for Children and Families, or ACF, within the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, we are supporting the mental health and well-being of children, youth, and families across the country. It can be hard to know when and how to talk to your child about their mental health. In this video, we'll explore what you can do if you're concerned about your child's mental health and hear from caregivers about how they noticed and responded to their young person's mental health concerns. Should I be concerned? Talking about mental health with your child.
Thank you so much for watching this video on parenting and youth mental health. The overarching message that we want to leave you with is that you are not alone, and share information on when and how to get help.
Should I be concerned?
As parents, we want to make sure our children are healthy, and we're often the first ones to notice signs that make us wonder if everything is okay. For instance, you may notice signs and changes in behaviors such as increased sadness, worry, anger, or difficulty controlling their behavior, or changes in school performance, eating habits, or sleeping patterns. You know your child best. If there are things that concern you, here are two big questions to ask. Do these behaviors seem more intense or persistent than in the past? 2, do they interfere with your child's life, like being with others, learning, or having fun?
Experiences from caregivers.
She's not wanting to go to school. She doesn't do the things that she once enjoyed. At that point, that's when we had the conversation of maybe we should use the resources we have and seek out some mental health care for her.
I've seen some things in my children that has made me aware that there was a need to talk about mental health. I noticed that coming off the bus was a little bit more drag, and that smile wasn't as shiny, if it was even there at all. He started showing behaviors that the teachers at school would call me and tell me about. And that's when I really recognized that there was something there.
O si los mira uno triste, que no quieren comer, o que tienen ese coraje y todo, ponerles la atención, hablar con ellos y explicarles qué te está pasando, ¿verdad? Porque muchas veces nomás nosotros pensamos a veces, no, déjalo estar en su cuarto, ahí está bien. Y no, es que ellos están pasando por algo. Es cuando necesitan la ayuda de todos nosotros.
Social media and mental health.
Of course, as we all know, a majority of young people use social media and other technology to express themselves, connect with others, and learn and play. We know children spend a lot of their time online. The interactions they may be having online may affect their mental health. There are things you can do proactively to help your child maintain healthy relationships with social media. For example, it can be helpful to create a family social media plan that sets some expectations for the whole family about how and when to use social media, when it can be accessed, and what types of personal information should be shared. It can also be helpful to model healthy social media usage and talk often with your child about the benefits and risks of social media.
Starting a conversation.
If you're worried your child may be struggling, spend one-on-one intentional time with them. Whether it's taking a walk, riding in a car, or taking your child to do something they like to do, preferably with no devices, and ask them open-ended questions to understand what they might be going through. Listen to their responses without interruption and judgment, and let your child or teen know that you will help work through the difficulties together. Talking about mental health doesn't have to be scary, and often children are relieved when they can share with a trusted adult the struggles that they might be going through. It's an opportunity to show your child that you care and they can rely on you for support.
Experiences from caregivers.
If you see a change in your child, don't be afraid to ask them what's going on. A lot of time I think kids will suppress their emotions or hide it from everyone else, but we know our family and our children better than anyone else. If you see that there's a change, don't be afraid to ask them if there's something going on at school or in their life that they need to talk to someone about, and just be receptive to what they have to say and validate their emotions.
Just be open with your kids. be straight, be truthful.
As adults, we tend to tell our kids, you don't have to be scared, or you shouldn't be feeling this way. And I feel like maybe I could have done better in the sense of validating her feelings and saying, I understand why you're scared, instead of saying you shouldn't feel that way.
But as a parent, as a caregiver, taking that time and really setting it aside was the most valuable thing that I was able to do in the process of connecting with my child. Taking that time and not between meetings, or he just came home from school and I got 15 minutes before the next call. So let me check in real quick and remind him that I love him and it's going to be okay. Like, that's just not enough. Spending time and being really willing and open to have the whole conversation and not just hear from him, but to share a little bit of yourself. From a parent's perspective, thinking about advice I would give another parent in seeking supports in the mental health of their child is to first, do not be afraid and be encouraged to keep trying. It's okay if you can't do it yourself.
Taking care of yourself.
It's important for us to recognize that parents need support for their mental health as well. So if you might be feeling persistently down or worried, stressed, or any other mental health symptoms, making sure you get the help you need, it's very important. Taking time to care for yourself is critical. Remember, there's no such thing as a perfect parent. A good enough parent is the best parent. Knowing and acknowledging there may be missteps along the way, showing consistency, responsiveness, love, and care, that's good enough. You're not alone, and there is help and support.
If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is available. Call or text 988 or chat at 988lifeline.org. To learn how to get support, visit findsupport.gov. To find out more about ACF's mission, impact, programs, and behavioral health work, visit acf.hhs.gov/behavioral-health. This video was developed in partnership with youth.gov.